everyone. Welcome to Manga Palate. I am your host, Manga Chef Isaiah. Follow
Yeah,
with me.
Pasticia Luna, and boy, am I excited. Oh, I haven't seen this show in forever. I think this is one of the first shows we talked about, right? Where I told you about it, and then you went to go watch it, and when you came back, we just fucking geeked out about it for like 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Or, well, more like 3 hours. But the point remains.
Guess what I chose this week?
I think you guys
Oh, wait,
already,
yeah, I already told
because you said it on the last.
you. But it's Speed Grapher.
Speedgrapher. Oh, I love you so much, Speedgrapher. Okay, so Speedgrapher is an anime. It ran from April 8th, 2005 to September 30th, 2005. And that's because, like anime of the time period, it was not 12 episodes, it was 24. So that's half a year. Half a year of Speedgrapher. And what a glorious half a year it was.
Every
I wanna-
episode was-
Yeah.
Except for the one where they repeat everything that happened in the show. But
The one where it's like, hey, let's catch you up on the first 13 episodes.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's for people who came in super late. Or they ran out of budget, so they did the thing that a lot of TV shows do. So TV shows have this thing called the bottle episode, which is where they have an entire episode centered in one room. Because we're broke. So this works.
Or they just need to save money, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, they did reveal some stuff. So yeah.
Good stuff, yeah. Okay, so Speedgrapher, like I said, ran from April 8, 2005 to September 30th. And there are 4 principal characters whose names I'm going to give, because I feel everyone else, we don't need their names. We can just describe them. Because their names don't really matter. Okay, so there's the main guy, Tatsumi Saiga, voiced by Yuji Takeda, who has mostly done narration, and shit, dude, he's older. He's an older guy. I didn't know he was that old. I've only seen that, like he's already in his late 50s.
Oh, so he's settled down and everything.
Oh, yeah. He's been working in the industry, mostly doing narration, but, you know. Then there's Choji Suitengu, not his actual name, but we'll get into that. Voiced by Toshiyuki Morikawa. He was a lot of people. I know you said, I don't really remember, I don't know anyone's names, or at least didn't recognize any of them. So here's what I'm going to say. In Black Lagoon, the series that's also about violent criminals and all types of raw, wild shit, he plays the leader of the Chinese triads, Chang. In Dead Man Wonderland, he was the crazy priest guy who got molested and raped as a child, which I will again say has something to do with this. And you know what else he's done? He was Munakata Kyosuke, the president, the student council president with the sword in Danganronpa 3, the anime.
Oh, the one
Yeah.
that...
The actual president of the student council thing, where he graduated from the school and he was taking
Yeah,
over after the guy.
the
Yeah,
bad guy, I guess.
well, antagonist. I don't know if he was a bad guy by the end of it.
Antagonist.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's Kyosuke, and you know who else he was? He was fucking Sephiroth.
Oh, shit.
He's been in Sephiroth since 2002.
You know what? All those people
Hold
have
on.
white hair.
Yeah, hold on. He's
Okay.
Griffith from 1997 Berserk, the good Berserk.
Oh,
Ah,
that
Yeah.
also has
also has white hair.
and
And you know-
issues with childhood abuse.
Hold on. Let's save it for the big boy. He's Dante from Devil May Cry. Oh god.
Alright, you can end this episode right now.
All of them have white hair. I
And
just
childhood
thought
issues.
about that. And really weird fucked up childhoods. Oh fuck. Can you believe it? That's why when you were like, oh, I don't know any of these guys, I was like, oh, I can't wait for the pop on this one. Pop off.
This...
Motherfucker's Dante. Oh boy. Okay. So now, Kagura Tenzo is voiced by Kei Shindo. And she was Shizuku, Omomori Himari, one of the 2 girls. She's on Boku no Hero Academia as Todoroki, and also Jiro, that one girl I think is cute. And this is really narrow, but I feel it's foreshadowing because, you know, it's for me and it's for you too. Do you remember Rosarito Vampire, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about it a lot.
Hmm.
It's nothing, but we love it. Okay, so Rosario to Vampire. Do you remember the Spider Girl, Keiko?
Yeah.
Do you remember she had 3 bug friends?
Yep.
Okay, the Moth Bug Girl, the one with the red hair.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right.
I know that's for nobody.
It's for us, I guess.
It's for me though.
And the
Yeah, it's for
people I
you
get
and
it.
I mean, if you're here, you get it. And then there's the one that I want to talk about the most, Hibari Ginza, voiced by Takako Honda, who was Honeona in fucking what's it called? In Jigoku Shoujo, she's like one of the 3 spirits who help ferry people through their punishments.
Is it the pretty one?
Yeah, it's the pretty lady. Killing Bites, she was the gecko. And she,
Alright.
fuck, do I care what her name was? Do you care what her name was?
Nope.
Did she matter after
I
those?
just remember
chapters?
the pheromones making them have this weird like thing.
Wait, no, that wasn't the gecko. That was the other one. That was the civet.
I know, but I'm saying I remember it affected her.
Oh yeah, it did affect the gecko. And she was on Bleach. She voiced 2 characters, one little kid, Jinta, and the bow and arrow guy whose family were ghost Nazis, Uryu Ishida. Okay, I want to say one thing. So Speed Grapher has a lot going on, right?
Hmm.
And do you know what a speed grapher is?
I'm guessing it's someone that has to take photos in war.
No.
No?
It's one of the first forms of camera that was ever made.
Ah,
Ironically,
that has little to show.
he has. Well, I mean, it has everything to do with the main guy. That's his entire gimmick. His
I
gimmick
mean
is
the photographs, but not. He's not using the first camera that's ever.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Despite the name, that camera never comes up. It's just for the name, I think. Just because, like, ooh, important camera. Ooh, you should know what that is. Mechanical original camera. You know, one of the first cameras to ever be made. And guess what? This guy, he's a photographer. So get excited. And it's like, oh God, what is this? All right, Manga Shafazaya, what the fuck is Speed Grapher?
Shit.
Try to make it concise. Try to not like let's not go all out. Like just give a
Alright,
vague
like,
idea.
like 3 points.
Yeah, like 3 main points.
Okay. Concise. Alright.
I know it's 24 episodes. And
This
it's
is kind of
all
like
weird.
JoJo stupid, but,
I was actually gonna say it reminds me a lot of JoJo.
but
It reminds me a lot of part 3 and 4 specifically. But we'll get to it.
okay. Fuck.
Also, can I just say, I didn't throw that pop off there, but thank you for accidentally fucking.
There's a lot to say
Pushing
with
my
this
other show.
episode, okay?
I know, I just mean like thank you for accidentally pushing my own show. I wasn't gonna shill it, but you super said the name right there.
I didn't say it was your show. I just said it's kind of.
That's what I mean. No, you put it out there. It's in the ether now.
I'm not Jeff too. Alright.
Yeah. You're not spooky.
3 concise points.
Pikachu. And Spooky needs money. God damn it! How else are you gonna keep the system going? Okay, but anyway, what is the show?
So we got the main guy, right?
Yeah.
He was a ex photographer of the Vietnam War.
He was a war photographer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the war. He went to a bunch of places.
He retires, and he gets a job at a lot of newspaper or something.
Hmm.
He's have to get the scoop on this like what are the higher ups doing? He finds a
Weird.
secret club.
Well, he hears about a weird underground club, and he's like, "I'll go look into that.
Yeah.
Let's find out what it's about." Oh boy.
So he gets there. He finds this goddess that's kissing people,
I.
but he
You're
doesn't
not.
know exactly what he does yet.
I'm gonna say it.
Alright.
Weird sex dungeon. That's what it
Yeah.
is. It'd be one thing if it was just like an actual club. No. You take the train, a secret train that only goes on this one broken down station. After a certain hour, it takes you to a weird sex dungeon. And then she's there, and they were having a weird fucking like cult ritual thing.
Kagura.
Yeah, well, Kagura, yeah, Tenno, but
So Kagura is a high school student, I think.
she's 15.
That's high school, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So, but she doesn't eat much because her mom abuses her and doesn't trust her to stay pretty, and she's also jealous of her. It's
It's not exactly it. She hates her because she looks like her dad.
uh
And you know, that's its own set of circumstances.
uh but yeah, so she gets hypnotized. I still don't know what he says to her,
She's
but
drugged and hypnotized, so she's put into a suggestive state. You know, like that truth serum thing that people say exists.
mhm,
It actually just leaves you in a vulnerable state psychologically, so you'll just do shit people tell you to do,
mhm.
and it's kind of like that.
Sentengu, he's like her leader, or like
Well,
her
yeah,
boss,
he's
not much her.
okay. So like, Sui Tengu is supposed to be Kagura's caretaker because he works for the mother and like handles all of the business crap. So it's like it's like an au pair, like the live-in maid kind of thing, except it's him.
Uh,
So
okay.
like he makes sure she goes to school, he makes sure she does this, he makes sure she does that, he makes sure her piano lessons go okay.
Oh, by the way, she says she's super rich, but
Oh, almost I would say the richest person on the planet.
mhm. Um, so yeah, she hypnotizes her, and she's the goddess because she has some weird biological stuff going on with her.
She has weird bio properties, which is explained later on. But boy, is this all like you think? Oh man, this already seems like quite a bit to be going. Oh shit, we haven't even begun talking.
Mm-mm. I'm
Oh
just trying to get the concise points out,
yeah, just get
but
like the
every point is like a paragraph
every I one paragraph. I'd
or a
say it's at
page.
least a 2-page essay. But yeah,
Okay. Um. So yeah, he ends up getting kissed by her because he gets caught, and they're like deaf, deaf.
yeah,
But because of his time in Vietnam, he was exposed to some, what was it,
disease.
virus,
It's a virus.
and her biological properties, whenever she has her fluids in someone, it activates the virus. But
Making them a euphoric.
mm,
Can I just say how much I love that that's what the word is?
how
Like
come?
that's well, euphoria is supposed to be the most passionate expression of joy and excitement, like ecstasy, you know?
Hmm.
So the idea that this thing puts to them like to become weird genetic beyond human freakazoids that are fueled by their own weird raw desire, therefore getting called euphoric is fascinating.
And yeah, that's exactly what the Sintegu says. They
Yeah.
activate the like hidden desire inside
Yeah,
yourself
yeah. Well, so the thing, funny thing about Saiga, he gets boners when he takes pictures.
of like dead people and stuff.
Yeah, it's something about the art of capturing the moment that just gives him a boner. I don't know what it is. Like, I love the guitar, but I don't get a boner when I play a really sick riff. There's something else going on there. So
Good thing you're
yeah.
not a euphoric.
Oh yeah, could you imagine? Oh, wouldn't I just be the speaker guy? Now that I think
Yeah.
about it, wouldn't I
Well,
just
it would be a guitar. But
yeah? But like, I'd basically be the speaker guy.
wouldn't you be the guitar Dante has?
Oh God, would I just be Dante? Would I just be the voice actor for Sweet Tank?
Yeah.
Ah, could you fucking believe that? I bet if they put that stupid sticker featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series on the DVD box, people would have bought it.
Mm,
You remember that sticker?
no.
Like the that game Devil Survivor, the DS game with the fucking Shin Megami Tensei, right? You know, like Persona and stuff like that. Right. So there was a game that had well, I mean, he was in Devil Survivor 2, but it was also in Lucifer's Call, which is like this weird shitty PS2 game. But they had a big sticker on it. Like it was another Shin Megami Tensei game. It wasn't Devil Survivor, but it was like Lucifer's Call, right?
Okay.
So like on the box, there's a sticker that says featuring from Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Like I was like, I know you probably don't want to play this Mega 10 game, but like give it a shot. Look, Dante's here. Come on, you like Dante? So like I feel like if you put it on the DVD box, more people would have bought Speed.
Featuring the voice actor from
Yeah,
Dante.
featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
They'd be like, "What? Where's Dante?" in this?"
Yeah, like there's a guy with white hair, but that doesn't make him Dante. It's like, oh, you don't even know yet. You don't even know yet.
All right, back to concise points.
Right. So
He escapes the club.
he takes her with him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Look at that picture I took over there. It represents freedom." Yeah, and it keeps coming up. And he's like, "Don't you want to have freedom, Kagura?" She's like, "Yeah, I do." But so another
Well,
point
like
that happens.
about that, there's that part where she goes, where like Sweet Tengu shows up and he's like, "Hey, so we're gonna go back now, right?" And then she goes, "Wait, what's happening? Those weird nightmares I had, were those real?" And then he goes like, "Just come on." She's like, "What have you been doing? Why am I wearing these clothes? What's happening?" And then like she thinks about freedom and she goes like, "I do want freedom," and she fucking just jumps over and escapes with him. Oh, jumps over, and then I thought it was like she was gonna kill herself. And then he dives, and then Saiga dives after her, and then she's fine. But I don't know. I don't know why she just jumped over. Like I can't tell if it was like actually to escape or like an attempted suicide, and they're just alive.
Good point.
Vague, right?
hmm
Yeah. So then, yeah, they're out.
So naturally, Tengu doesn't like that, and he's like, "We need to get her back." He sends the Euphorics to come after him.
So many euphorics.
Yeah.
And this is the part where it reminds me a lot of part 3 and 4, because I say part 3 and 4 because like in part 3 there's just a bunch of sand users going to fuck up and kill Jotaro and all the other the friends, like his grandpa and Polnareff and shit. But then like but there's also the added effect that because they're euphorics and their like powers are activated by weird gross shit that they're into, that like it reminds me of part 4 insofar that the final the big scary guy Yoshikage Kira also has a weird sexual undertone to his fetish kill thing.
hmm
So yeah,
So yeah, it's like we said before, the Euphorics, Hidden Desire.
blah blah blah.
Oh, I
Get-
don't want to go over all of them because it's not concise.
Get weird freaky power. Yeah, go try to get Kagura back.
Oh,
And,
picked up by his 2. Was 3 henchmen.
Yeah.
Tsudo, Makabe, and Jinja. Is that correct?
Dinga.
Jinga.
Yeah.
They have stuff going on too.
Well, I think only one of them had powers.
Yeah.
The other 2 were just guys. But they have a whole thing.
So yeah, he fails a bunch, and Tengu gets her back, and then he retries to get her, and then Tengu gets it back again, and then
He goes back one last time. And then it's all over.
yeah.
He gets her back. Well, he gets her back. Sweet Tengu dies. A whole bunch of people die. And Sweet Tengu's plans actually succeeded with whatever he was going to do. With, like I said, we'll get into that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And we mentioned that the club members are all like high important people, right?
Yeah. Well, I said like they're all rich, important, famous, like important people, and then they're all part of this weird sex club.
All of them.
All
Not
of them.
single one of them.
The prime minister of the country is super involved in the sex club. I am sure you're all familiar with the concept of the prime minister. I don't need to explain that, so think about that. He also has a weird freak power because he's a euphoric. All right.
I think I think that summarizes it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, as for what we're gonna talk about, I have this to say. So, question: what was the opening theme when you watched the show? Was it like an instrumental thing that was all silent?
No.
So you actually got to hear the English song "Girls on Film."
Yep.
Okay, so I found this out partially because our friend mentioned it to us, and otherwise I didn't know. So when the Funimation licensed Speed Grapher to be released here in the States and in other Western parts of the world, they could not get the rights for Girls on Film. So like when you get the DVD, like supporting the official release, as so many abridged series say, you don't get the actual original opening, which is on a song from the 80s called Girls on Film by everyone's favorite band, Duran Duran. Aren't you hungry like the wolf? Aren't you excited that they did that song, Looks That Kill, and for the James Bond movie? Come on. You love Duran Duran. Everybody loves the 1980s New Romantics.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Girls on Film.
If you buy the DVD.
If you buy the DVD, you don't get it. Yeah, it's weird. It's a licensing thing. I don't fully know what happened. I just kept hearing stuff like, due to licensing issues, blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh okay. So you said before the show started, you're like, I don't get why Girls on Film is the song for this show, because it seems to like not have anything to do besides the camera gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this was intentional, but the song Girls on Film is about a guy who takes photography for like porn magazines and shit. And when you watch the music video, there's a lot of weird like stuff that goes on with like weird erotic BDSM sex fetish crap.
From the club, yeah.
And that's why I'm like, oh, that's why Girls on Film. It's like two girls dressed in like teddies walking around as models, and then they have like a weird like pillow fight, and then it cuts to like a woman as a nurse, but it's like clearly a not a real nurse's outfit, not like actual scrubs. It's like one of those weird sex costumes they have of nurses.
Mm-hmm.
And then like that girl and a cowgirl, and the other dude like big strong guy who's like all muscled out, wearing like a weird tiny G-string. And then he's dressed kind of like a horse. It's weird. It's a weird video. All right, there's like BDSM crap and stuff going on in that video. Which, when you consider the nature of the euphorics and all the background crap, and it's all really related to people like indulging themselves in vices, like either participating in physical greed, weird lust crap, like all that kind of stuff, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weirdly on point thematically. And then when you see the actual opening, like some of the shots are like kind of angled as if they're like spreads from porn magazines, and like that's kind of why, because so much of it is like around the concept of desire and greed and indulging yourself in fantasy. So yeah, I think that's why. I don't know if it's intentional. I feel like it was, because you wouldn't go out of your way to spend money to get a real song if there wasn't.
I thought the guy just really liked it. To be
honest. Yeah, I get it. I get why you would think that, but I feel like maybe there is more to it. And as much as we make fun of Jeff Fu, if he'd have the time to figure that out, then hey, let's see. I don't think he's gonna do it, because everybody wants him to talk about like Boku no Hero Academia and Sword Art Online. So no one's gonna go, hey, you want to talk about Speed Grapher? Like, I don't think he's gonna do that. Speed Grapher is not a very advertiser-friendly show.
No.
Well, with all the weird.
I don't think it's that popular either.
It's not. Super not.
But it got 24 episodes.
I mean, that was usual.
Got lucky.
Usual for the time. I'm glad. I miss when shows used to do that. Because some shows, they're like, you're kind of bummed when it's over. Like Non Non Biori, where like I could have kept watching it. That's why I'm glad it got a second season. But if it didn't, like that would have just been over. There's nothing else you could do about that, you know? I super understand. Like, animation quality has improved, and the cost of edit, like so much stuff has gone up. And it's made it a lot prettier in certain respects, but I find that this show is actually really charming in how old it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought maybe when I rewatched it, it's not going to look as great as I remember. But man, Gonzo did really good. Right?
I just want to say some of the side characters that were important look kind of bad, but
I mean, like the freak monster stuff.
everyone else looks, yeah,
The freak monster shit looks amazing.
yeah,
Like I'm so used to really really fancy stuff, or then quote unquote quality from like part 4 and other animation mistakes that they have to fix in the DVDs. Then I'm kind of
like
amazed
Boom Boom
that some
Kitty.
of oh god, he had ridges. He had like 8 ridges on his forehead for no reason. Oh god, that was so fucking weird. But yeah, like I'm kind of surprised at how good this looks. I mostly remember crap from like the late '90s and early 2000s being kind of because you know they in order to stretch it out to get the budget to work, some stuff you just had to like fucking tank it. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're right. Background characters like mobs don't look too great. Some of the angles are off. But I mean, for like all the big scenes of like fighting the freak monsters, the euphorics and all that, when they transform and do the weird melting crap, it
Yeah, I have a
reminds
lot
me
of
of
detail.
it looks good, which I wasn't expecting because you know old show.
And like the, well, I guess we could talk about it because it doesn't matter.
No,
The
yeah,
pri-
now we're done. Go.
The prime minister's mouth
Oh yeah, how
was
it's like
really,
his mouth thing was really gross, and when he gets like the legs and the shit pouring out of his face.
and you can see the doctor.
Yeah. Like he ate him, but he wasn't finished. It's like,
That was really good. Like
the spider guy. The spider looked really good.
I kept wanting to call him Spider-Man, but he's not.
I know, right? I kept saying tattoo spider, like because I knew I was gonna say Spider-Man, so I kept saying tattoo spider to like in my notes to avoid writing Spider-Man, and like, confusing myself later.
Because he has other stuff besides Spider. Power.
Yeah, it's like the webs and all the other like body manipulation crap. But also, fun fact: that guy voiced Trunks in Dragon Ball Z, and is also the voice of Kai Kisuke from Guilty Gear.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Not super important to talk about him because like he's there and then he's gone. But
But he's
you know,
Trunks.
but he's cool. That's cool, right?
Mhm.
So he's not Dante, but you know, fucking. Also, how'd you like the first guy, the rubber murderer guy?
His voice acting, or
Yeah,
yeah, I liked it.
amazing, right?
Mhm.
It's so crazy, so weird sounding. That's because it's fucking Takehito Koyasu, the guy who voices Dio now, and as we remember him, I will always remember him because this is me. What am I gonna do? The human version of the Bat Buddy from Rosario to Vampire Season 2. Je t'aime.
Yeah.
Like everyone goes like he's Dio Brando in part 1 and 3, and I'm like, yeah, but je t'aime. He did so many other bigger, more important things, but in my mind, it's always je t'aime. So yeah, that was Rubber Man. Pretty cool, right?
I feel like he had the strongest.
Oh yeah,
Like
had
he made me feel
the-
the most creeped and like in terms of voice acting.
I mean, so all the freak monsters, you know, the euphorics, they get powers, and it's all based on weird, creepy sex stuff most of the time. But some of them actually have like humanizing moments, you know, like the Diamond Lady. The Diamond Lady's obsession with diamonds is because it was the last gift that was given to her by her husband. Sure, by later on, she's a fucking monster who just like fucking eats diamonds and does crazy picaretic crap. But that's an interesting motivation when you compare it to Prime Minister who's like, I love eating.
Food should be eaten by the highest of people only.
Yeah.
And it's like a soup with an eyeball in it.
Yeah, and then also Rubber Man. Rubber Man has nothing besides obsession with flexibility. There's not a lot of depth there. He's creepy and unsettling, and that's sort of what he's supposed to do, which is why I think he worked well for his role. But in terms of like, ooh, that's a strong character. Yeah, no, it's not. Which is why I compare it so much to JoJo, because a lot of the villains, or at least the villain of the week kind of thing that most fight things do, where like guy shows up, gets beaten up. Now some things they like draw it out, but when it's like JoJo, every villain gets like 1 or 2 chapters. He's here. Oh no, dead. Okay.
And then we have to figure out his gimmick, and then we beat him.
Figure out his gimmick and then you beat him, which is exactly another thing. Like So Saiga, right? He gets kissed, he turns into a euphoric, and his euphoria power is when he takes pictures of things, they explode. They're just erased from like existence or whatever. So he uses his camera that he always has a camera on him, and then he figures out how to get the little tiny camera. How'd you like that camera bodysuit thing? I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
wow.
like Iron Man.
Yeah, I was like, that's an interesting way to do that. He's all like stripped out and decked out with all those cameras, like a bandolero, just randomly slapping in directions.
He's like this is like his tank.
hmm This is his big. This is Tatsumi Saiga, assault striker form.
He's like a what's it called? Gundam? No, Transformer.
Oh, he's like a transformer. He's like a transformer.
He's
Okay,
ready.
yeah, he's always ready to
He's
save
in disguise.
Tatsumi. Roll out. It's so
Camera.
stupid. I love it. But yeah. So then, like having his gimmick of I have to be able to take a picture of them to defeat them, and the euphorics have one weakness: if you take off their head, they're dead. Like they're like the zombie in that sense. Like get rid of their skull and their brain, and that's it. But if you hit any other part of the body, you just heal. So like it's always just the gimmick of like, all right, I understand their power. How do I succeed at taking a picture of them? So like the diamond lady, she eats diamonds and she also turns into like an invulnerable diamond thing that can like morph her hands to like sharp spears and shit. And because diamonds are transparent, you can't technically take a picture of her.
Because it has to be in focus.
Yeah, huh? So by the end of it, he just like sprays paint on her, and it's like, now I can focus on that, and then blows her to chunks. She doesn't die until like Sweet Tango shows up after the fact, because she like turned on them and was like, you know what? You guys were gonna wipe my debt, but what's better than that is selling this little girl for even more money.
Diamonds.
And yeah, well, I mean, the money was for diamonds, right? The entire gimmick is she eats diamonds. She bit off that lady's finger for the diamond.
She was like, wait, stop the car.
Yeah,
That's a
I
nice diamond you have, lady.
Yeah.
Chunk. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Alright, keep
What's
driving.
when they go back to driving, like 2 seconds later, she goes, "Stop the car," and then the guy's driving goes, "Are we gonna? Do we have to keep doing this? Like, we have to take her somewhere. I don't know if we should just keep stopping."
And they rob a bank.
Yeah, they rob a bank to like load up with diamonds.
Reminds me of my first gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's that electric priest was pretty nuts. He kills himself.
Yep.
Okay, so do you remember how in Fuka we talked about how Mikoto, the piano guy, was like pretty cool because he was like just gay and that had nothing to do with who he was?
Mhm.
Like it was just kind of a fact about him. Bob is what I'm used to.
Yeah. Bob is cool.
No, but I mean like Bob is what I'm used to, where they like his gimmick is he's gay. Instead of just being a guy, like almost every
also-
Bob shows up, it's like something gay. Somebody's calling Bob Nessan. Bob says Atashi, like a woman, when he says I. Like, that's what I'm used to. Where like Bob doesn't have too much beyond the fact that he's gay and friends with other gay guys. There's that one time.
Surprisingly helpful.
I mean, yeah, because he's the buddy. But I mean, like in terms of, do we find out anything about Bob besides the fact that he can fly that helicopter? No.
He's
No.
illegal.
He's gay. He's illegal, and he's gay. Like I don't know. That's what I mean when I'm like I'm so used to seeing them use gay people as like the gimmick is he's gay, so that we can keep using that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's not for jokes. Normally it's to make fun of them. In this case, Bob is just kind of around. But boy, do I wish there was. Boy, do I wish there was more to him than also he's gay. Like,
That's it.
it's a bummer. Like, but it's you know what? Bob's a cool guy. I liked him, so could be worse. Yeah. So Prime Minister giant head with legs. That was weird. Okay, I have a question about the mute mermaid lady.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Oh, go. What did you want to say?
She didn't seem like she had a real connection with them, right?
What do you mean with the criminals? The guys who are part of the group?
Yeah.
No, not really. I think they
Yeah.
just hate her.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for her too. I feel like she had the most like
Tragic partner?
humanizing. Yeah,
Yeah.
kept going down with her mom.
Okay, so that's actually the specific thing I want to talk about. So her mom tries to commit suicide with her, right? And at first it's like, oh, did her mom just try to kill her because she was jealous, right? But then when it gets the flashback when she's finally dying, it shows that her mom is crying because like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I always do this. I made so many mistakes. And then it shows that the little girl version of her when she was a child actor is like holding on to her, like, mother, no, it's okay. Let's do it again. You know, the thing. And then it gives her like weird, creepy eyes. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? What do you mean do it again? Because, all right, cool. Her mother tried to drown her, and she was like going to commit suicide, and the girl wanted to die with her. I get that. Fine. Why again? Is my question.
Uh,
Why say again? Did they drown somebody, or what? What happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking for a real answer.
I
But
know
you
they just
understand what
never.
I mean, right? Like, that's so weird that you would put that there and then never bring it up again. And I guess, she's there for her moment and then she dies and it's whatever. She dies because she used her powers too much. Which is weird because normally, they have to actually lose. But instead she just eats it because she used up her powers and she's like, alright, well, now I'm stuck here and I can't keep going. I'm out. And she just turns into the water. So, like, I don't know. That's what weirds me out. Said
It wasn't
again.
consistent.
He said again, and I'm like, what is that about? Oh, also, like, after that, she was, like, mute, and she drowned men repeatedly. Which I can't help but think that the drowning of the guys wasn't malicious. Like, I don't think she killed them just to take their money. I think she killed them because she was hoping to die, like, with her mother, to reunite with her. Like, that's what she says when she dies, right? Like, I can finally go see
wanted.
Yeah, she could finally go see her mom. But, like, I guess maybe when she was throwing herself with those guys, she never felt like she could do it all the way through, and it took Kagura actually pushing her down to make her go all the way with it. I don't know. Ah, mute mermaid lady. Alright, so that mermaid lady, that reminds me of something else. Like, a lot. Like, almost to the T. So I've talked about Pet Shop of Horrors with you before, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, like, the Pet Shop of Horrors had an OVA, right? Like, it's mostly a manga, but it had, like, 4 episodes of an OVA, right? One episode is about a mermaid who drowns a guy.
Yep.
And, like, that felt so much like kind of the same thing. Like, her background was very different, but the way that ends, or the way it was ending multiple times, because she did it to so many guys, it reminded me a lot of that. Even the fact that, like, it's like, oh, she's so pretty, and then you get in the water and she turns into a freakish fish monster. Like, even that. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's funny. I do love Pet Shop Horrors. But that's its own thing.
The only thing was, I think that lady could sing really well.
The one in the Pet Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, because it's a siren, not technically a mermaid, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, everything besides that was the same.
Yeah. Alright, so, like, one more thing about, like, Saiga's power is, like, it makes him slowly lose sight. So, like, after all the fighting and all that shit, he's, like, realizing he's going blind. Kinda nuts.
So every time he takes a photo, his eyes get worse.
Well, at first, he was, like, he was just doing it willy-nilly, and then by the time he beats that sound guy who was running to go for election against the prime minister, he's like, after he beats him, he goes like, why are my eyes all fucked up? He's like, oh god, I'm running out of time. And it's like, huh? It's like, oh, his eyes have been slowly getting shittier over this entire time. But he's still been going nuts and just clicking because he really wants to help Kagura out. Can you believe that, like, at the beginning he's like, I really care about her, and it's like, okay, fine. And then, like, a couple of times people are like, what, do you love her? And he's like, nah, not like that. And then episode 22 he's like, fuck it, yes I do. Please don't die. I love you. Yeah.
Live for me.
Live for me. And that like a whole connection between them makes me think about another thing. He's in his 40s, isn't he? He's like 38, 39. She's 15. Wow. Wow.
I don't even know.
Wow.
That's like so much going on with that dynamic too.
There's that, and then there's the one I really want to talk about, Hibari Ginza, the cop lady.
Wait, for that doesn't
I get
Sentengu also like her that way?
See, Tengu doesn't. I don't think so. Like, cause all right, what I saw, or at least what I thought it was that he was looking at her as a replacement for his sister.
Yeah.
Cause he can't. Yeah, but that's different. That's not like he's in love with her. He's using her as a replacement for his sister, because of what happened to his sister.
Oh, he just wants to save his sister.
Yeah. Well, he can't. So and that's why, like, to him now, like, Kagura fills the void that his sister had. Like, he's like, you and I are both corrupted by this virus, by all of these things. And so it is only fair that if all of this is going to go down, so should we. Like, really, it's just for his sister. And the reason the mom was, like, shitty to Kagura was only because, like, the mom felt so abandoned and broken by the dad. And Kagura apparently looks more like her father than her mother. So, like, yeah. How'd you love that Suitengu had the arm grafted? How'd you like that Metal Gear shit?
That he had the arm.
Yeah, that
of
Metal
the
Gear
dead
shit.
father.
That Metal Gear shit.
Yeah.
It's literally Revolver Ocelot putting on the arm of fucking Liquid Snake. It's literally that. And then he's like, that arm. Liquid! It's that! Because then he takes off the hand and it's like, the take off the glove and it's like, that birthmark! The man! And it's like, oh, fuck you. Really? It's like, yeah.
Oh my god.
How do you think I was fueling the disease? It's like, fuck you. This is stupid. I love it. I love it so much.
Same hand that I used to sleep with you.
Yeah.
Or you is the same hand.
The hand that was
dead father.
I was gonna say.
Husband.
Yeah, no. What was it? It was like the same hand that I caressed you with was the hand of the man who betrayed you, or something. He said it like really weird and dark.
I forgot, but
it was amazing. And yeah, I mean, he was working for the mom, and then he betrays the mom because really, what this is actually about is that when I was a kid, my parents were in debt to a financial minister. He is now the prime minister of Japan. And you know what he did? After my parents hung themselves because they couldn't pay him, he sold my little sister, who was 5 years old, into sexual slavery. And then, after having a guy rape me repeatedly, he sent me to be a child soldier. And that's when I learned. And that's when I learned, you know what? People are obsessed with greed. I need to disillusion them. I will do everything I can to sink this country.
This is just Griffith.
It's kind of just Griffith. It's kind of just Griffith. Like the whole, I will create a new world for you by destroying you. It's kind of just Griffith. And the fact that he succeeded on his sister instead of Guts, it's kind of just Griffith.
Or Saiga.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I mean, he and Saiga have a lot of mirror imagery in the way that they act. Remember how they were connected from from minute one? That time they were both trapped, and that's when they got infected with the disease, and it whistled to stay alive. Oh, god damn it! It's like that boy who was whistling. That was you, and it's like you were there, and it's like, oh fuck. It's like, this reminds me of that time when we were trapped, but now I guess it's just me. Go ahead, kill me, Suitengu. And then Suitengu doesn't do it.
He saves him. He's like, you know what? You're a good
cool guy. Yeah, you're cool. Go over there.
But I deserve to die.
Well, no. He's like, I've been tainted. I've been cursed. So now I have to end the curse and end it all. Which, I mean, he succeeds in the end. So, all right, I guess. You know.
How's his henchman Suda like still carry him?
Yeah.
I don't.
He's not shot in the face.
Yeah.
I thought he should be dead.
But like, nah, his face is just super open. His
yeah.
brain's fine though, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, it was a point blank shotgun blast.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess it's not the camera. Fucking whatever. And
Oh, he
yeah,
wasn't euphoric, so maybe he healed faster.
yeah, but remember the gimmick was if your head is gone, you're dead. She shot him in the face. Like his brain should have been splattered. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm
If
just
she had shot
saying.
him in the stomach, like, all right, fine, yeah, he could still heal. She could like snap all his legs off and like tear his body to shreds and then leave, and then he would heal. But like the thing was, if your head is gone, you're fucked. And she shot him in the face, and I'm like, so like, he was still fine. All right, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah. He carries him, types in the code or whatever, destroy the whole place.
well, okay. So about that, I okay. So when they start this thing off, right? They talk about like the bubble burst and the war and economic standards, right?
Hmm.
This anime was made in 2005, right?
Yep.
So that means the script has been rolling around for a while before that, probably, right?
Probably in the 90s.
I I think this was written like almost literally because the director said, I mean, it was clearly influenced by stuff, but I think this was written literally about the financial bubble that burst in the late 90s in Japan that caused it to sink economically up and that has remained in a horrible recession till now.
Um,
And I mean, is that for real?
that this whole story is based off,
Is this like supposed to be really real? Like
like, this
supposed
is
to
what
make you
happens.
make no, but it's supposed to make you go, God, the cold and cruelty of greed is what has destroyed us all.
Oh, like, you're supposed
Is
to think
that-
about real
Yeah,
issues, yeah.
yeah. Because
I
like,
think so. I'm pretty
if
sure.
that's true, right? Because the director said, "Oh, this movie's pretty much influenced by like those suicides during the bubble burst." Does that? So you're? Is it supposed to be like a hey, maybe get involved in politics, but don't let it corrupt you? Because there's that guy who was running for prime minister, but he had already become a euphoric by then, right?
Hmm.
And the police chief was also kind of one of those weird dirtbag club members.
Yep.
Or was he the chief? He was the chief, right? He was like really high in the position.
Yeah, he was the chief of police.
Okay. Yeah. And she just snapped his neck.
He killed his mom and daughter. And put their legs.
Get their
on, like-
legs.
Oh my god. Anyways, what were you saying?
But yeah, so like I wonder how this is supposed to go. Like, is this supposed to be a thing that like you show people and go like, fuck, that's real? Because like, if that's true, then like I'm a little like paused by weird rubber guy, and then a sadomasochistic dentist monster. Like it's hard for me to accept the social commentary when it's like weighed down by all this other shit.
It was too weird to make it seem real.
I'm just saying, like, the social commentary would be better if maybe it was a little more realistic, like Monster, you know?
Hmm. And they didn't have
Instead
weird
of, like,
powers.
Instead of, like, freak monsters. It'd be one thing if they just had powers, like in JoJo. They also, like, physically mutate to reflect their insides, you know? Because remember, the dentist isn't, like, just a guy. He's, like, weird and crouched over, and his fingers are elongated, his spine is all misshapen, and then those drills are coming out of tentacles on his back. Like, it's weird. It'd be one thing.
He's like Dr. Octavian.
Mhm. In my mind, he makes me think of that shitty horror movie from the 80s, Dr. Giggles.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, well, no one did. I'm the only one who did, because I had Dr. Giggles 2 on a VHS. It's just a dentist who fucking kills people.
Oh, and he could like he's mutated and shit.
No,
Oh,
it's just a
killed-
dentist who goes around killing people. His wife is, like, dying, and he's, like, looking to get a replacement heart. And then, like, and he gets arrested, because, you know, that's what happens. No. Okay, so it's his mom, and his dad got killed for trying to fix the mom by killing people to take their heart. And then, like, he gets out of the dentist goes like, I can do it, because he finds a girl that has the same condition as his mom. So yeah, it's stupid. I know it's a shitty movie from like the early '90s that was like on VHS. But that's what that dentist always makes me think of, like another weird serial killer guy, who also happens to be a dentist and uses dentistry tools to get shit done.
I I was just saying how he walked around with his
Yeah, it
stuff
was
as like
weird.
Doctor Octavius.
Mm. Yeah, I get you. Doc Ock. Oh boy.
But huh. It
Fucking
was,
weird, right? All right. So, two more things I want to say. First one, the chicks at the trick club were nice. They were so nice. That was a nice moment. Just giving Kagi a taste of the outside world and having her like hang out with those girls and just go like, things are okay sometimes. Now that I'm out here, now that I'm free, things might be okay. Before the Diamond Lady came in and shit starts happening again. But that was a neat little chat.
they thought of her as a sister.
Yeah, having little fun. She was part of the stupid dance routine. And she was dressed as like she was dressed in her clothes, but everyone else was like dressed in like construction clothes. And then like Saiga's standing there. He goes like, "That face. I want to capture that moment. She looks so much better when she's smiling."
That's pretty
Still,
much his motivation the whole show.
I mean, well, yeah, it's not the first time you have a thing where it's like, I want to protect her, and then that becomes the impetus of an entire narrative. I'll admit, not all of them are because the girl is weird in a weird sex dungeon. But yeah. And the thing I want to talk about the most is the cop lady, Hibari. That was
And yeah,
that was weird.
what part?
Everything. She's like, okay, so she has a weird fetish for guns the way he has a fetish for cameras. And also she stalks him. And also she sexually assaults him on multiple times. And then
Almost
there's that
every time.
almost
The
every
first
time
part.
she sees him. Yeah, almost every
So
time.
like the last few parts. Yeah.
So like the last, I want to say 6 episodes
Yeah.
where he's gone.
And she has to really think about it.
Well, I mean, she turned around on it when she realized that all of those guys are fucking monsters.
Yeah, when she was captured by the chief of police.
Yeah, but the chief of police, and he was like, your legs." He's like, "I'm short. I see your legs all the time. So, you know." Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I like the lady's weird. She's interesting to me. Like, there's that part where like she knows those guys are out to kill Saiga, right? Because like, so she goes to his room and goes like, "I'm just gonna wait there," and then like fucking she sends all those cops into Bob's apartment. I was like, Bob's like, "What? Why are you? What? You're Saiga's stalker girl." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking his room now." And he's like, "Why?" And then later, when those guys come in to kill Saiga, Ginza just pops them. She also has that thing she says every time she shoots somebody. It's like, "That was in self-defense." And then sometimes she goes like, "Don't make me self-defense
Defense
you." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, amazing." And then yeah, she has a face turn, but like that's after she fucking raped an unconscious Saiga. So like, I don't know.
She
I
was
feel-
like, "Why? Why don't you love me?"
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like, it's weird, right? Because at first you're like, "Oh, she's just a weird. She's also a creepy, weird monster like everyone else." But then they attempt to humanize her by saying like, "No, she's actually in love with him," and it's like, "All right, cool," but that doesn't mean all that sexual assault stuff is okay. It really doesn't. Just because you like somebody doesn't mean you're supposed to touch them. That's bad. And then like by the end of it, she has that crying moment where she's like taking Kagura, and Kagura's like, "I don't want to go. Saiga's gonna die," and she's like, "Do you know how much I want to fucking shoot you in the face?" And then she has that emotional moment where she's like, I love him so much, and I just had to watch him tell you he loves you, and now he's making me take care of you. I want to kill you right now, but you know what? I'd be a bigger monster and a bigger loser than anyone else if I did do it, because I should at least live to what I want to do, and he wants you to be fine, so I'm gonna do it. And she just fucking takes her. I mean, in the end, she's like dating that doctor that helped fix Saiga up all those times. But like, that's weird. It's weird, I guess. How like they attempt to like sort of run back the fact that she's a creepy sexual assault stalker by saying, "Yeah,
She's
but it's
other
'cause she like really loves him though." That's like, that doesn't matter. Sexually assaulted him. She literally raped him. What?
She put him in the back of the car and
She raped him in her house, and like while he's still unconscious, and they show all that shit that's on the floor, and it's like, so she kept going at it. She didn't do it just once. I don't know. This is weird to me. Maybe it's one of those like things that they said is like, oh well, there's double standards, you know. Like if a older lady has sex with a young guy, they're like, yeah, cool for him. But if an older guy has sex with a young girl, it's like, oh, what a monster pervert. I guess it's like that. I don't know. It's weird. I feel weird that
for her.
Yeah, I feel weird that they tried to run it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, because she really loves him. But if it was a
Yeah.
guy, it would be like, no, you're
Yeah,
still a
well,
monster.
how could you forgive him?
Yeah.
Don't you know what he did to her? And it's like, she literally just did that. She literally just she sold out a girl who was clearly in a horrible situation that he wanted to protect, so that she would get him unconscious and then rape him and then just keep him in her house like a weird sex slave for the rest of his life. And then only because he's a freak monster and he left and she didn't do anything about it. Remember, he blows up in the fucking walls of the cell and he just goes like, get away. Look, I'm going. I'm a monster too. I need to save her. And she's like, what? Ah. So like, I don't know. Fuck you. You can't run that back. I don't give a shit. You're not allowed to run that back. How dare you? I guess that's my point. I don't like that they tried to run it back.
Yeah, I don't think she deserves it either. But
Yeah. I mean, fine. Okay. So she was good in the end.
it doesn't.
So there's that, but that doesn't forgive the other stuff.
Yeah.
That's my point.
She should have
Yes.
died like the doctor.
Oh, she could have died like in a reasonable way, you know? She could have died like from mild injuries and fighting the guys or something, you know?
Yeah, that-
I guess she needed to be there to save Kagura. But like still, you know? You could have had the doctor do it, I guess. I don't know. It feels weird.
He's
I
not
feel
good
like
with the motorcycle.
I feel like she avoided like punishment for what she did. If her punishment is, no, the guy I raped super loves another girl, I don't feel like that was anything. I don't feel like that's an actual punishment. Because everyone else gets it. Right? Like all the other awful people get it. They get it bad.
Yep.
They either die fighting Saiga or they get killed by someone else who double crosses them.
Yep.
The mom abuses her daughter. In the end, she gets killed. All those euphorics are creepy monsters. In the end, they die. That guy who betrayed the fucking who betrayed Saiga and kidnapped Kagura was super gonna rape her. Guess what? He got his shit pushed in. Everyone who had something weird and fishy going on, like even the dad was working on creepy biological weapons. That's how this disease crap even started.
He got his
I
arm
want-
taken off.
And once everyone was like, yeah, that's not okay, and they ran it back, they shut down the entire thing and killed the dad. You know what? Somebody who's maybe doing experiments on weird biological weapons and then left it on their daughter probably wasn't the best guy in the world. And he died for it. Fine, you know? I don't know. It's just weird to me that like everyone else gets something for what they did, and she gets to just walk away like completely unbothered.
She gets
and
to
it-
live
and if the
happily ever after in
I mean,
Africa.
and if the punishment is, oh, the guy I raped likes another girl, it's not a real fucking, it's not anything. And like I know what you're thinking, like maybe there's no like I mean to the audience, you know, maybe things don't have to have a karmic balance. That's true. There's really dark shit that has no karmic balance because that's the essence of the narrative. Like the idea is sometimes horrible things just happen. Like the movie Funny Games, which is more a commentary on the art of a horror film than about like, sometimes the good guys need to win. But this is different because in this case, in the end, you're supposed to feel that everything worked out. Right?
Like the
like
resolution.
there's a hopefulness to that ending.
Like
that, like-
Japan economy is really bad, but they still have each other.
Yeah. Like, alright, now paper isn't what matters. Now it's being human that matters. And like Saiga's blind, but then and then like so like Kagura's supposed to die. She has a brain tumor. Instead she gets fixed and she just comes back and goes and hooks up with Saiga. Which again, she's like 18 years younger than him, but like fuck it, whatever, I guess. Whatever. Show. I don't
I'm gonna
really
say
care.
20.
I can't remember. Is he like late 30s? I think he is, right?
Yeah, we said late 30s.
So then he's like at least 14, like 24 years older than her or something. 24, 23.
I feel like it's safe to say at least more than 20 years old.
Yeah. And like when she comes back, she's older, so at least you could say it's not illegal. It's still weird, but then again, considering this the entire way this is set up, as who fucking cares?
Yeah, I think that's the least weird thing.
Yeah, it's the
Like,
least
okay,
weird thing of this
they've
entire
been through a
show.
lot of stuff, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I was like, I feel weird that that like despite the hopeful tone and everyone gets their due and they're all punished accordingly, like the cop he bought against I gets away with it. And I guess there was that one time she was gonna get murdered by the fucking by the police chief, but she killed him like immediately. And I kind of wonder if that was supposed to be an attempt of going like, well, now she's experienced the kind of horrifying weird crap that someone with obsession has. It's like, I don't know.
She killed him
Snapped his neck with her legs.
to put him in an armbar.
Oh
It
god.
works all the time.
Never stop using the armbar. Use the armbar when you like the person, use the armbar when you don't like the person. Either way, it gets the job done. Never stop using that armbar. One weird trick to get out of a sex dungeon. Use the armbar. uh, question. Sui Tengu's power, how'd you like it? How cheesy did you think it was?
I thought it would be. It's not a etheric power, right? It's just
Hmm?
like a biological.
Yeah, it's the biological virus thing.
Yeah. Uh, it was okay.
Blood
I
stuff,
didn't
huh?
feel like it was that cool or anything.
It's not. It makes me think of something like an edgy kid would do. Where it's like, and then he like
Dunk.
controls weapons with his blood. And he can drain the blood from his enemies. Blood, 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 blood. I think the one thing I liked was that moment where it revealed, like it sort of implied that not only did the thing give him control over blood, but it's permanently adjusted the way his body chemistry works. So like when he's holding his sister after seeing her all broken and fucked up after being like sold into prostitution and a sex slave for God knows how many years,
And her
like,
mind is gone.
he cries and he cries blood. Which sounds like an edgy statement, but it's kind of interesting that it's like, oh wow, that is like broken him down to the core.
So he's
Still-
not the same person.
Yeah, he still eats her finger bone to go like, we're together now. But that's because he's also nuts and just ready to die at that point. Alright, anything else?
Like you said, a bunch of bad stuff happened to the good people.
Uh,
Um,
crazy shit.
no, I think that's about it.
Yeah, it's for horror. As far as horror media goes, usually horror stuff has a very bleak outlook in the way stuff works out. You know, usually like everyone died except for one person, and they're never the same again, or the murderer's still out there. This ends on a pretty happy note. I don't even know if it's necessarily horror. It's supernatural. It's
Right.
definitely unsettling.
The ending doesn't make it like a horror.
Yeah, but the hopefulness in some moments it's not even just in the ending because like remember when he saves her from like after she fucking finishes the water lady, right? Like he's like stroking her hair and then he has a moment where he's like crying and she just strokes his face and goes like, "Wow, you're really uncool when you're sensitive like that," like as a joke. Or how she's having that fun moment hanging out with the trans chicks. Like there's moments that are just very light and happy and airy to like give you the undertone of like hope that actually exists beyond all this other bullshit.
I was thinking more like all the other stuff makes it a horror. Disgusting monsters and.
Oh yeah, I know, but like I mean like by the end of it, thematically, it's not. And I think that's interesting.
Oh,
that
so I
I-
messed up.
No, I mean
I
like
didn't pick a horror thing.
normally horror things are bleak. This one is
Uh.
not. Like thematically, horror things are supposed to be bleak because you know that's what makes you afraid, uncertainty, danger. But this ends on a like, you know what? Things will be okay. No, which is not usually what happens in horror movies or like manga or any of it. Because like, tell me, did the fucking Anamorphosis no Meijutsu feel like it ended happy? Like, nah, it was just weird and dark. Like the
Yeah.
other shit was goofy. so I guess you could laugh at it, but like the main thing wasn't. Because like
It's
even
just
in
like,
the
here's
end,
how we did it.
yeah, and even in the end, the revenge didn't fulfill her. She's like, it didn't change anything. So like, see, like it's bleak. That's what I mean. Horror stuff is bleak, and this isn't. So I thought that was interesting. And you know what? I'm happy you made me watch this because I haven't watched this in forever, and still as good as I remember.
Do you
So
feel
glad
like it was bad in some parts, like consistency?
that yeah, there's some things that irk me about it, but I feel like that's because just not a perfect 10. So it's still good, which is because I'm always scared that when I go back to something, oh fuck, what if it's awful and I just remember it was cool. You know,
Yeah.
that's always kind of scared me.
Like, I used to like this song, but now it's kind of.
But now that I listen to it, I notice all these other things because my tastes have changed and improved over the years. Like I write more, I play guitar more, I do so many things. I've seen so many different things that are like really interesting and crazy that I remember liking this as a teenager. But what if teenage me was just stupid and didn't have an appreciation for art yet? Because your tastes evolve as time goes on.
Yeah.
So I was like worried that like when we came back to this, it'd be like, man, this wasn't even kind of interesting. I guess I just thought it was like cool looking when I was like fucking 16 when I saw this. But now that I go back to it, I'm like, no, there's still stuff here. It's actually still as good and interesting as I liked it. There's moments where you humanize the villains. There's other ones that are just plain old monsters, so you don't feel bad when they die. It's like Hirohiko Araki thing where he's like, he has the bad guys kill dogs. Why? Because no redeemable person can kill a dog, so you won't feel bad when they get. You'll feel like a sense of relish when they get fucking destroyed. And then the people who have like weird semi-cruel like backgrounds that just adds to the other sort of thematic element of greed being a destructive force in society. Know what I mean?
And that also symbolizes the president. I mean, the prime
Oh
minister.
yeah, the prime minister. That's so on the nose when you think about it in that way. That like it's
There's no
a metaphor for economic greed.
Yeah.
That the prime minister's a guy who's like, I want to eat. I'm a monster who's motivated by eating, and that the weak and the degenerates are here to feed me and make me strong.
I feel like they should have made it more subtle.
Yeah, but
Right.
that's only if you realize it's supposed to be thematic. If you only take it for what it is, you probably wouldn't think about it.
Can you watch this show and not think of any of the themes?
People who don't think at all, yeah.
I don't feel like they would finish the show, though.
Probably not. But that's different, isn't it? You said, would they be able to watch it?
Fine.
Because I know people who like don't even kind of read between the lines when they look at stuff, and they can watch tons of shit and then just not even get it. I've shown stuff to people and then like they've gone like they either come out of it like this sucks or that was okay, and I'm like, but what about this element? And they're like, wait, is that what that was about? And I'm like, yeah. Like I showed Funny Games to my sister and she hated it. She's like, it's so bleak and miserable. I'm like, it's a commentary on the nature of horror film. That's why there's the part where he looks into the camera and goes like, well, I mean, we'll find out whether or not you want this is how you want it to go. It's like literally where what he's doing is satiating you because you're the horror fan, so you only really want to watch blood and guts, but then it'll make you reevaluate why you watch horror. Like that, and like, she was like, "Oh, is that what it's about?" I don't know. All those people got killed. I'm like, that's not. Hey! That's what I mean. But like, I know people who've seen stuff and just don't really get it or don't think about it. They don't recognize plot holes or like writing errors or like gimmicks or thematics. They just, they just take it for what it is. So I wouldn't say that that's out of the realm of possibility.
I didn't get some thematics, though. Like the music guy that betrayed everyone.
Yeah.
I guess he just liked music. No, that.
Okay, so like, I'm not totally sure what that was, but like the way he kept like saying, you need to work from inside the system and be part of it, and he's like, give me the good vibrations. It made me feel that like the talking thing was about an obsession with like being heard and being in a position of power, less so than it has to do with actually meaning anything you say. Because in the end, he was
He was
still
just talking like
yeah,
a
he was
normal
just talking. He was
uh,
still
authority figure.
like he said, "Oh hey, I'm gonna take down the regime. I'm gonna destroy it. You watch. Because remember the first time he and the other guy show up, Saiga thinks they're on his side, right?
Yeah, it sounds like he's on the side.
Exactly. It sounds like it, like he's paying
Okay.
service.
Yeah.
But then when he turns into the freak monster and he kills all those people, Saiga realizes he's just as bad as everybody else, as all those other people. Because in order to be a euphoric, you have to be part of that club.
Yeah.
So what that implies is he's already part of it, as much as he wants to say that he isn't. And then I guess you could take it from another angle of it, just actually being his obsession with music, because he has all those records and stuff. But I feel like maybe another part of it could be that. Or maybe I'm overanalyzing it. I don't fucking know. This is what I do. That's why I don't ever stop thinking. And it's miserable.
Uh,
But yeah, so
I feel
anything.
bad for Joe. Joe was a
Yeah,
good
Joe
person.
didn't deserve it. Joe. Well, see, that's the thing. It was like another sign. It was like casualties can extend a lot further than you really think it would. It's like the friends in JoJo where like they're there and then you're really close to them, or like you realize they're a good, kind person despite all of it, and then when they get fucking murked, it's supposed to hit you real hard.
Yeah, Joe's stuff kind of.
It was really cruel. Yeah,
He just figured out when he was just like Psycho.
yeah,
Since
It's
they
like
didn't have the power.
yeah. So yeah, I think it's like actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Because I'm like, I don't remember Speed Grapher being good, but I could be wrong. And I go back and I'm like, oh no, this is actually really good. Yeah, I could totally show this to people and be like, this is a cool show. I don't know if they'll all like it, but this is a cool show.
As long as you put it out there, I guess
As long
it's
as you
okay.
can, as long as you can appreciate like reasonable art, that's all that matters. You know. So yeah, I'm pretty much done. What about you? Anything?
I'm done.
All right. Food. This is hard. This is really hard. Cause like, there's an
Should we go with the plot again?
All right, so there's like elements of sweetness, right? Because there's the romance sort of going between Kagura and Saiga, and like both on a.
Definitely
and
not
the-
as sweet
yeah.
as Harem's, though.
Oh no, it's not like candy or anything, but it's something that's kind of sweet, like has a sweetness to it. But
It's
also
bitter like dark chocolate.
it's bitter like that. As a
What?
as a.
I know we already used it, but I had to say it's
No, I
like
just
it.
thought about something.
Oh, what?
This is gonna be stupid. Trust me. Coffee, coffee chocolate. You know those coffee
Yeah, the ones that
sweets?
do. Yep, yep.
It's bitter. It's aggregate. It makes you the caffeine sort of excites you.
Oh, shit.
It's super stupid. I know, and it's like there's hints of sweetness, but it's overpowered by the bitter taste of coffee. And you know what else?
What?
So like a quote from the director is, "I want this to stimulate the audience at an intellectual level." You know what stimulates the brain?
Coffee.
Caffeine, which we can get from coffee.
Do you want to just call it coffee?
Well, no, because coffee isn't inherently sweet on its own, is it?
Yeah, you have to add sugar.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know if this had like a different thing going for it. That's why I was thinking of the candy that has that's coffee flavored.
Oh, okay.
Like, what's it called? Coffee toffee or something like that?
I forget. I just remember you have it with coffee. Or
Yeah.
you have it just alone. Yeah.
God, what was it called? I don't know. Shit. Because I think of Nips, but Nips isn't like mostly like fucking. Nips isn't mostly coffee, is it? No, it's mostly candy.
Oh, I see a few of them because I'm doing live research, but
Yeah, on the show.
oh, there is Nips coffee. You're right.
Yeah. Is that more coffee or is that more candy? I remember it being more candy. Oh, fuck! You know what? Coffee Rio.
Coffee
Yeah.
Rio.
Yeah, they're like little pieces of candy that taste mostly like coffee. Look at it. It's like it looks like a fucking.
Oh yeah, I had that before.
Yeah. It tastes mostly like coffee, and it's just a hint of sweetness.
That works.
It's Coffee Rio. I did it! I did it!
It's dark. It's bitter.
But in the end, it's still a bit sweet. There's a hopefulness to it.
You still want more, too.
Still want more, honestly. I would love to see more stuff like this.
Okay.
Coffee Rio, I did it. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what we want to do next week?
Oh yeah, super. Mostly because of the mermaid lady. She made me think about Pet Shop of Horrors. And you know what? Let's talk about Pet Shop of Horrors. You only have to watch the OVA, honestly, but I will bring up stuff from the manga because I read that religiously when I was like 14.
Okay.
I reread it over and over and over and over again. There's only 10 volumes, so you know when it's done, it's done. Alrighty. Thank you very much for listening. And if you're still here, you get it.
Yeah, you guys got it.
Alright, bye.